I remember one of the dinners that we got invited to. A family friend invited us over to their house. And as a young person, I didn't really remember this happening all too much, but I remember this particular dinner that we were invited to. We get to go to this house, and we sit down at the table, and on the table was a big platter of food. Didn't look like anything I've ever seen in my life. I didn't know what to do with it. It was wrapped in banana leaves. I didn't know it was banana leaves. I just thought it was wrapped in a big leaf. And I sat there and I kept wondering, what do I do with this? And so I sat there and just watched. And I learned by watching others. And when they opened it up, it was this food that, again, I didn't recognize inside. And I remember I asked, I was like, how many times do we got to unwrap it to find the good stuff? And I was quickly reprimanded for that statement. But I remember going to that dinner table, and I was reminded that we were having dinner with friends, and they were a little different from us, but it's going to be good. And I sat there and I looked at all the things, and I sat there, I was like, I don't know how anything good can come of what is sitting in front of me right now. I'm going to take your word for it. And I remember I got a fork, and I dug into it, and I started eating it, and I think I had 2 banana leaves that night. So you can laugh a little bit. That was kind of a joke, but what was it? But it ended up being really good food. It ended up being a really good situation. There was very good conversation at the table. Everybody was involved in conversation. I just remember the noise and just the talking amongst the people. And it was just so interesting that we were able to sit there with family friends and eat something totally different and have that conversation and just growing together. And that's what I see here, is that Jesus was growing the people together. He was allowing them to see miracles and see things happen in the lives of the people around him, but he was instilling in these disciples so much. And they got to experience a lot of things. But as we begin reading and we get getting into this, Jesus starts going into a conversation about what his role is here and what he can provide the people. And they asked a lot of questions. As Jesus answered at one time, he says, you saw the signs and wonders, and you saw these great things happening. And he says, you saw me feed all the people with just a few loaves and fish and all that. He says, you see these things. He said, but there's much more than just the miracles and just the signs and wonders.